I could start something, but I won't be able to play it for very long. Never mind, let's do it. Where are you? There we go. This is another game that I can play with my controller. Here we go. Might remember this one because I played the demo of this a while ago. I really enjoyed it. This is a game called Heartworm. This isn't the beginning of the game, by the way. This is still. This is still from the title screen. It's just playing this at the moment. But it's an old school horror game, similar to like the old Resident Evils. That the way it's designed. It was all just a dream. So there we go. Pick pixelation different? These are the only settings that are on here, so there's not much to change. So let's start. So there's you've got modern or you've got tank controls. Last time I played with tank controls. I can't remember what aiming I had. I think I had it as modern. But I think you can change it later on, so let's try that. Enemies deal less damage for those who want to unravel the story without much threat of danger. I have to do it on challenge now. Just for the added difficulty.
Hey, sorry you haven't heard from me in a while. I've been busy trying to find out about this place. You're not gonna believe me, and I don't even know if I really believe it myself, but I guess a part of me must, because I'm going. It's far, on an abandoned road, a few miles from that power plant in the mountains. It was hard to find anything about it. I started on message boards, and I ended up in a chat room talking with people who know people who know people who've gone. They said a lot of crazy stuff, but the one thing that they all agreed on is that in that house, there's a room that can take you to the other side, to see the people that you've lost again. The thing is, no one who's gone has ever come back, and that's why I'm writing you. Not for advice, not to get you to talk me out of going. Actually, by the time you read this, I'll already be there. I just wanted to let you know, in case I don't come back. That way you won't be wondering where I've gone. Either way, you don't have to worry about me anymore. I'm sorry, but I don't have any other choice. I just can't keep going on not knowing.
Movement. So left stick moves you around. You can run by holding the square button while moving forward. If you're using modern controls, you will always run and the joystick will control your speed depending on how far it is pushed. You can interact with many items in the world by pressing the X button. Some will stand out more than others. You can equip or use some items you find, such as your camera. After you've picked it up, open your inventory with triangle. Well, I'm saying these because I'm using a PS5 controller. Select the camera and then select the equip action. Will I take the camera? Yes. Doesn't have any film. Okay, I guess I'm going this way.
Sometimes I wonder if I spend more time thinking about death than the average person. My grandfather died a while back. I know it happens to everyone, but It almost feels like I'm obsessed. It's frustrating. No matter what I try, my thoughts always circle back to the one thing I can't control: my own mortality. I came all the way out here not knowing if I'll get the answers I need. I just hope it's worth it.
Nope, that's... there we go. Go to the door. It's locked. What about this door? Okay. What about around the other side? Oh. Pleasure Beach 1. I finally went to explore Pleasure Beach today. It's been on my list forever and the forecast was perfect. But unsurprisingly, I ended up in over my head. When I got there, everything was pretty normal. There were folks on the shore having a picnic, enjoying the beautiful summer day, and the usual kids messing around on the playground across the street. I grabbed my camera, locked my car, and started making my way across the land bridge. It took maybe 30 minutes to cross, longer than I expected. The island seemed to be completely empty, so I began searching through the abandoned homes, confident in my solitude. So many of them were destroyed, roofs and walls collapsed from years of disregard. Some houses so decrepit I couldn't even enter, but there was just enough left that I began to really feel bad for those people. They had no time to pack and leave. Family photos were strewn across floors and belongings were still packed in drawers. I even saw a table that looked like it had been set for dinner, however many years ago. My sympathy turned into suspicion as I ventured further. Many of the houses had the same red graffiti in their attics, markings and symbols I had never seen before. I assumed it was just from kids messing around, but something about it began to trigger my paranoia. I noticed the sun was setting as I reached the end of the residential area. It was strange. I could have sworn it had only been a couple of hours. The last time I checked my watch, it was before noon. Now the clock read 7:30 p.m. I brushed it off as just losing track of time. It was frustrating. I hadn't even gotten to half the town, but I knew I had to head back. The land bridge would be submerged soon, if it wasn't already. Sure enough, as I turned the corner to where I had entered earlier, I was greeted by nothing but the sea. The entire land bridge was underwater. I was stuck and alone, or so I thought. Thanks for coming, Omni. Hopefully you can get some rest. Have a good night. Pleasure Beach 2. It was darker than any night I could remember. The island was far enough offshore that there was no light pollution, and in almost no time I was wandering in pitch blackness. It was cold too. The breeze coming over the water contrasted heavily with the mild weather earlier that day. I didn't have much of a plan, but I knew if I was stuck, I would have to find a place to stay. I made my way back to the houses, which were much more terrifying in the night. I turned to look down the street and froze mid-step. I could barely see due to the lack of light. It looked like there was another person standing there, right in the middle of the street, staring at me, motionless. I tried to rationalize, but in that situation my sanity was already being tested. I called out to them with a strained, "Hello?" praying to God that it was just some teenager and not whatever nightmare my mind was conjuring. No response, no movement, nothing. I looked around and noticed some of the windows in the attics of the houses looked like there was dim light coming from them. Candles, maybe? But I had been here all day. I didn't see anyone. It didn't make any sense. As every possible scenario, none of which seemed to end well for me, raced through my mind, one rational thought broke through and reminded me. I had my camera. I could trigger the flash on demand without using the little film I had left to illuminate my surroundings. I was so scared I almost didn't want to. What if there was really was something there, and using my camera would only alert it to my presence? Finally, I pressed the flash trigger. Everything around me lit up, and I saw nothing. The figure in the road was gone. The light coming from the windows gone. It was just a silent, long, dead town and me. The rest of the night was uneventful. I used my camera flash to navigate the ruins, found the closest house with 4 intact walls, locked the door to one of the bedrooms, and fell asleep against the wall. I woke up the next morning and booked it back across the land bridge. I don't think I'll go back to Pleasure Beach. Oh, so that needs a code. Narcissus and Goldmund. He thought that all men trickled away, changing constantly until they finally dissolved while the artist's created images remained unchangeably the same. He thought that the fear of death was perhaps the root of all art, perhaps also of all things of the mind. We fear death. We shudder at life's instability. We grieve to see the flowers wilt again and again and the leaves fall. In our hearts we know that we, too, are transitory, and will search for laws and formulate thoughts. It is in order to salvage something from the great dance of death, to make something that lasts longer than we do. Perhaps the woman after whom the master shaped his beautiful Madonna is already wilted or dead, and soon he, too, will be dead. Others will live in his house and eat at his table, but his work will still be standing, hundreds of years from now and longer. I will go on shimmering in the quiet cloister church, unchangingly beautiful, forever smiling with the same sad flowering mouth. Item boxes. Inventory space is limited. Item boxes can store items until you need them. Each item box is connected to every other, so they all share the same items. It's best to only carry what you need. What do I need cigarettes for? Oh. So this is how I save, okay. Oh, hello. Why am I going in circles? Come on, tank controls. Oh. Was that a possum? You can pay me to open this fridge, not my first rodeo. Dirty old couch. Random book. Father's journal. Finally put the pieces together the day you asked where John was. At first I was confused, thinking maybe you forgot his exact address and wanted to send a letter. I laughed and replied with the address of the home our son had been living in for the past 2 years, with his wife and our new grandchild. I won't ever forget the look you gave me. Perplexed and confused, you asked, "What is he doing there?" When I told you that he moved there for his job, the expression on your face darkened. I could tell that something wasn't adding up for you, but you just slowly shook your head and walked away. How could you forget that? I knew we were both getting on in years. Forgetting little things was understandable, but he had gone to meet our granddaughter only months ago. I wanted to believe it was just a momentary confusion. To this day, I still wish I was right. Okay, definitely nothing creepy going on here. Oh dear. Oh, what's this? Ah, more antiseptic, okay. Father's Journal 2. We went to see a doctor today at last. It's hard to make it out all the way to the city. When we were younger, it seemed like such a charming idea. To have a house so isolated, it was our own little world. Now just getting groceries in town is a hassle. I made the appointment and made sure you were ready to go. I could tell you didn't know why we had to. You didn't think anything was wrong. I've always had my head in the clouds. I'm fine, you're overreacting. You would tell me over and over. I didn't even want to think about whether you remembered the reason why this was necessary. We're waiting on the scan results now, but based on how you were with the doctor, I'm not hopeful. You had trouble answering his questions and kept looking to me for answers. God, why is this happening so fast? I held your hand over the stick shift as I drove home while you cried softly to yourself. I can't help but hate myself for thinking it, but I think we're close to the end. How did this happen so quickly? Only months ago the sounds of your singing filled the house as you tidied up, did the dishes, cooked us dinner. Now you barely get out of bed. Something inside of you is broken. Half the time you look at me and see a stranger, but you won't acknowledge it. You just turn over in the bed and try to go back to sleep. I wonder what you dream of. I hope it's of the last fragments of our beautiful life together. A massive library, eh? New areas you enter are automatically tracked and you can gauge their level of completion based on the amount of static covering them. If there's still static over the room, there's more to be done there. Nothing in here, okay. Key. I didn't mean to press that. I am alone in this house now. All I have left are the keepsakes of a long life together. Oh, Rose, looking at your young face smiling and laughing on grainy film is a poison that sours my heart by the day. Seeing you alive, but knowing you are gone is more than I can bear. At least I have our memories. There was another room that I missed. Oh, never mind. Bedroom poem. Only a few days to notice how you used to be. The changes were minor at first. Forgetting your ring, leaving your keys, staring into nothing like you knew it was coming. And I saw it all too late. The bed you were buried in, trying not to be seen. Ghosts in white coats, what a terrible thing. Strangers, goodbyes, dreams of hearing you sing. The hour burns forever, 12:15.
Huh. 12:15.
Before I go that way, let's go in this room. Oh, it's really dark. Torn paper. The message seems hastily scribbled. If this is real, if this place is what they say it is, I don't even know how I'll feel. Will it answer the questions that I and everyone who has ever lost someone have spent so long asking? What if it does? Will that change anything? If I don't come back and someone finds this, I tried my best. Oh, what's this? Just an empty relief where it looks like an object would fit. It's a flower, okay. This house is huge. Oh, never mind. So whatever's missing should be in this room. There it is. It's even got the creepy angles. Wait. Someone else was walking around in there, I think. I thought I heard 2 sets of steps. Oh, does it need to be combined? I mean, it had to be, really. Oh, more spooky music. Pushing. You can push some items to reveal new areas. A lifetime supply of creamed corn. Ugh. Why is it such a maze? I have to get up early to finish packing, but I can't sleep. I heard ungodly noises coming from the attic. Going to take a look. I haven't been up there in years. Not like I have anything left to lose. Nah, I'm gonna have to do it. There we go. Any jump scares? Well, I know I said half an hour, but it's been a bit longer than that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save here, and then I'm going to pick this up on the next stream. So thank you for coming, thank you for watching, thank you for chatting. Hopefully you have a good night, and I shall see you next time. Have a good one.